Well, hello, my fabulous friends. I hope you're doing well. Well, I was kind of shocked to find this out when I started researching, but did you know the Boston Strangler is is still an open case? It's considered a cold case. And let me read on and tell you why. And I'm going to read on quickly. It looks big, but I did that so I could read it quickly. So I get all my facts straight. Okay, the Boston Strangler. Between June 1962 and January 1964, a series of grisly murders took place in the Boston area. All three victims were women, and all but two had been strangled. Accordingly, the Boston Strangler is sometimes only considered responsible for 11 murders. The Boston slayings were blamed on one lone sociopath dubbed the Phantom Fiend by the media, and controversy still surrounds the case. I said that for my British friends. It's controversy. It still surrounds the case. What makes these particular murders stand out in the annals of serial killing is the fact that many of the victims were mature or elderly. The combination of old age, loneliness, and vulnerability adds to the brutality and tragedy of the events. No one was actually tried for the Boston murders, partly due to lack of physical evidence. But DeSalvo is, by most of the public at least, believed to be the man responsible. Who was Albert DeSalvo? Convicted criminal Albert DeSalvo was in and out of trouble with the police from an early age, but nothing as gruesome as the Boston Strangler case. DeSalvo admitted to murdering the 13 women in the Boston area between 1962 and 1964, most of whom were elderly and alone. He was never charged. And although DNA evidence confirms he killed at least one of the victims, some have speculated the murders weren't committed by just one person. DeSalvo was killed in prison in 1973 after being sentenced to life for other crimes. In January 1967, the 35-year-old DeSalvo was convicted of sexual assault, burglary, robbery in the unrelated case and sentenced to life in prison. He was incarcerated at the Walpole State Prison, now MCI Cedar Junction in Massachusetts. In November 1973, he got word to his doctor that he needed to see him urgently. DeSalvo had something important to say about the Boston Strangler murders. The night before they were to meet, however, DeSalvo was stabbed to death in prison. Because of the level of security in prison, it is assumed that the November 25, 1973 killing had been planned with a degree of cooperation between the employees and prisoners. Whatever the case, and although there were no more murders by the Strangler after DeSalvo had been arrested, the Strangler case was never closed. Controversy, and more recent news. Despite his confession, people who personally knew and worked with DeSalvo shed doubt on his claims that he was the Boston Strangler. Albert wasn't an angel, but he wouldn't go out and kill somebody. Albert's brother Richard DeSalvo told Newsweek in 2001. Skeptics have also pointed out that DeSalvo's confession included false statements and information that could have come from other sources. Decades after the murders, the family of DeSalvo and a nephew of Mary Sullivan, the last Strangler victim, pushed for authorities to reopen the case and pursue forensic testing to determine whether DeSalvo was guilty or innocent. In 2001, DeSalvo's body was exhumed and DNA tests were taken and compared to seminal fluid found on or near Sullivan. At the time, there was no match. In July 2013, after a forensic analysis revealed a familial match between the preserved DNA evidence and a nephew of DeSalvo, his body was exhumed yet again for reevaluation. This time, findings confirmed semen found belonged to DeSalvo. At the time, Massachusetts Attorney General Martha Coakley said, The result leaves no doubt that Albo DeSalvo was responsible for the brutal murder of Mary Sullivan, and that he was most likely the Boston Strangler. Yeah, so let's ask the cards. Was he the Boston Strangler? Did he have people helping him? I'm using the haunted house cards here. I had no idea this was a cold case. I had absolutely no idea. So they're definitely saying one was him. Now, was he a copycat? Right? Was he an opportunist? Was he a copycat? Did somebody see him? Because he was charged for I don't want to say too much. I don't want to say that word too often. He was charged. So was somebody watching him and then went in behind him and then murdered the woman. So they would never suspect it was him. They would suspect it was the guy who had the matching semen, right? But that was, I don't know about that. I don't know if they had that back in the 60s or not. Otherwise, they would have tested for it, right? I had no idea this was a cold case of Boston Strangler. Okay, so do they have the correct person? Was the correct person? Well, I can't even say charged. Nobody was ever charged. He spent life in prison. Let's just ask. It was Albert DeSalvo, the Boston Strangler. Was Albert DeSalvo the Boston Strangler? And we'll go from there. Was Albert DeSalvo the Boston Strangler? Did he commit all 13 or 11 murders? Was he responsible as the Boston Strangler? Was he responsible as the Boston Strangler? Cards are ready. Ooh, stuck. Yeah, he was stuck in prison, wasn't he? 8 of Cups in reverse. Oh, the devil. You know, I read a little bit about his background, and my goodness, he did not have it easy. I believe at age 6, he was on his own. Already committing crimes, petty crimes. The emperor, well, there's somebody with a gun. It was all of them were strangled. None of them were shot with a gun. He was a hunter. Hunted elderly ladies. There's the Queen of Swords. Oh my God. The Queen of Swords is the elderly single ladies. Those are widowers, divorced ladies. Temperance. Temperance and the devil. Temperance and the devil. Interesting, temperance and the devil. I wonder if he was schizophrenic. Not that I'm saying all schizophrenics are murderers. I'm just getting, because I've got the devil and the angel here. The hunter hunting elderly women, single elderly women, but he couldn't walk away from it. It was like it was an addiction for him. I'm almost picking up that it was his mother. It was his mother archetype that he was after. Oh, Empress in reverse, yeah. It's the mother archetype. The Tower in reverse. That's his father, that's his mother. Look at that, the Two of Cups. It was to, I don't even know if I want to say it. Be the man of the house, that's the way I can say it. 5 of Pentacles. Judgment in reverse. Knight of Swords in reverse. Now that's a real piece of work, the Knight of Swords. You know what? I'm going to say yes. And some of you might say, well, no, we got a lot of reversals here, whatever. But you know what? This is the Heritage card, the 10 of Pentacles upright. That's the passing, that's the genetic card, that's the legacy card. His dad was a real brute. real brute. Also, like, this is intergenerational. I think he had a thing for elderly ladies because that was his mother archetype. He never got the love from his mother. And rather than walk on, he couldn't let that go. He couldn't move forward from that. Yeah, he had nightmares about his upbringing. Nothing was fair in his life. Knight of Cups. He was a Virgo, so I'm looking for the Hermit, Knight of Pentacles. Yeah, he was only 35 when he died, so he's definitely the Knight. He wouldn't have been the King of Pentacles. Yeah, you know what? We have the Empress in reverse here. I think I've seen enough here. I think he was. Here we have the because all the women were raped. Oh, I said the R word. Might have to. There he is, Knight of Pentacles. There he is, like King of Wands with the offering, Queen of Wands, and the Two of Wands in reverse. Eight of Wands in reverse, Eight of Wands in reverse, Six of Cups in reverse. He couldn't beat the programming that he had. I think his dad, I think this is his dad. I think his dad possibly was a hunter, an Aries, could have been an Aries because the King of Wands in reverse could be an Aries. His dad was, I don't even want to repeat some of the things his dad did. Brutal, brutal, brutal man. And little boys grow up with that, trying to protect their mothers. And also, if their mothers aren't protecting them, there becomes a disconnect there as well. And I actually think that's exactly what happened. There he is. There's his dad. There's his mother. And no love. No love and no way to get out of it. No way to get out of it. Interesting that they didn't mention anything like that, you know, a boy who had to leave home at age 6 and live on the streets was better than living in his own home. Would end up blaming his mother for the brutality of his father. I mean, I'm not a nuclear brain surgeon, but I can see that. And my cards are very clear about that. It was a mother wound. What was he going to tell the doctor? What was he going to tell the doctor before the night he was murdered? What was he going to tell the doctor? Let's see if the cards will tell us. What was he going to tell the doctor? 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 What was Albert going to tell the doctor? King of Cups. Well, that's the doctor. King of Cups is a doctor. Possibly about, we have the Seven of Cups upright. About some of his choices, possibly about some of his dreams, about his regrets. Four of Cups upright. Nine of Pentacles upright. And the Eight of Wands in reverse. He might have wanted to say something for about at least 3 of them, maybe to appease the family. Ooh, Now we have the Ten of Pentacles in reverse, Five of Cups in reverse, and the the Sun in reverse. I think he wanted to, he might have wanted to apologize to the families. He might have wanted to expose some information. I'm not getting that. Ooh, Knight of Wands in reverse, Eight of Pentacles, and Nine. I think he just wanted to, maybe he hid some money. You know what? He might have hid some money. With the Sun in reverse, we have the 8 and the 9 here with the Sun in reverse in the middle. He may have hid some money somewhere. He definitely wanted to spill the beans on something. I'm not getting that he wanted to say there was a second person here. I'm not getting a second person at all. And there's lots of cards with two people on them. Like, for example, the Five of Swords has three people on it, or the Two of Cups has two, or anyways, I digress. There's a lot of cards with two on there. So I'm not getting that he wanted, he wanted to like mention somebody else's name. I think he had some money hidden somewhere and he wanted to relieve that. He was hoping that that would, here we have the Judgment in reverse. See, here's another card with two on it. Maybe he wanted to say something about for his family. Then we have Temperance again. Yeah, you know what? I think there was a female. There was a strong, oh, wow. And now we have the Queen of Pentacles in reverse and the Queen and the Knight of Cups here. Look at all the females. I want to show you something. Look at all the female energy. Female, 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 female. Look at all this female energy. Female, 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 female. I think he wanted to either offer an apology. Maybe he knew where some money was hidden and he wanted to let his sisters know. Believe it or not, I believe he was married and with a child. He may have wanted, did he rob those women and then put the money somewhere? But yeah, this is interesting. The doctor didn't make it in time. The Eight of Wands is in reverse. Doctor didn't make it on time. I think he wanted to relieve his mind of a lot of things. He had a lot of things to say about women. I think he wanted to apologize. I think he wanted to let the doctor know where some money was, maybe for, his family, as an offering. Eight of Cups in reverse. See, here we have the Two of Cups upright. Ooh, Death. Even Death is a woman. And there's the Ten of Cups upright. And there's Justice in reverse. I think he wanted to apologize and tell them where some money was, right? He was a thief. He was definitely a thief. He might have had a couple of stashes here with his 8. He definitely wanted to give an apology or something, but justice in that regard wasn't done. He died before he could. Let me quickly look. Put his name in. Albert D. I'm pretty sure he was married. Oh, look, the clock agrees with me. Okay, let's get his wiki. Yeah, he was. He was married. He was married for 20 years. So he must have married quite young. He was born in 1931 and he married in 1953. Okay, so 22. They were married for 20 years. And he has one child, Michael DeSaville. Ingrid Beck. So yeah, I think he wanted to make sure his wife had some money. And he wanted to leave maybe a legacy after his death for his family. But justice was not served. I think that money is, did she ever find the money? Let's find out. Because she wouldn't have said anything, because she wouldn't have said anything. Because she probably would have to pay the victims, right? The victims could have sued the estate, but he was never charged. Did Ingrid ever find the money? There was money hidden there. The sun was in reverse. There's definitely money that was hidden there, money that he obtained through the robberies and whatnot. And you can think, a lot of these women, if they were elderly and they were widows, back in the 60s, you kept a lot of cash under the mattress, right? Sure, you would have some in the bank, but for the most part, people kept under the mattress was the bank. A lot of them still had visions and fears of banks collapsing in the 30s. It wasn't that long after the 30s. Did Ingrid ever find the money? Oh, she might have. The star. The Four of Swords in reverse. The Chariot. The Knight of Cups in reverse. The Hierophant. I wonder if she went to a psychic to find out where the money was. The Knight of Wands in reverse. No, she didn't. The Candle, the Ace of Wands in reverse, that's a no. And Death, no. You know what, though? She definitely went to psychics. Six of Coins in reverse. Five of Coins in reverse. Oh, the Nine of Cups, that's a definite no. Queen of Cups in reverse. She just was at peace with everything. No, she did not. She never found the money. She actually had absolutely no clue. Her wish did not come true with that at all. Yeah, she checked some psychics out, but she was emotionally healed in the end. Somehow she managed to get her own way out of poverty. She didn't need the money. She didn't get the money. No. Let's ask, will the money ever be found? See how we start with one reading and it just keeps going? Like, look at the rabbit hole you can go down. Will the money ever be found? Will the Boston Strangler 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 money ever be found? Temperance. Ooh, Queen of Cups. Two of Swords in reverse. You know who this might be? His son, his Knight of Wands, although I'm pretty sure he's older now. The World in reverse. Eight of Swords upright. And the Page of Pentacles upright. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4. Soft yes. Is the money still out there? The World in reverse, underlying Queen of Wands. You know what? Now that I look back, the Queen of Wands I was getting in reverse here for a lot of the readings was probably his wife. I imagine she's passed by now, or she's way, way up there. Let's see, how old is her son? Wonder if they'll allow us to see how old. Maybe he might be. You aren't going to believe this. He's 64. He was born in 1960. He's still alive. He's still alive. Oh my God. He was charged with first-degree reckless homicide and the death of a woman found frozen in a culvert and was sentenced to 25 years in prison. No, that can't be him. No, anyways. No, that's not him. That's another one. That's another one. So he's 64. He was born in 1960. He's still alive. Does it say when his birthday was? No, it doesn't say. It just says he's 64. He was born in 1960. Wonder if he's a fire sign. He might still be looking for it, you know. He might be looking at clues that his mother left. He still talks about it to people. He still talks about it. He knows it's out there somewhere. He knows that story hasn't ended. He's still looking for it. You bet he is. Wow. Who knew where this was going to go? So anyways, the cards have come to the conclusion or are telling us that, yes, they did have the right person for the Boston Strangler. He was going to confess to a couple of things. He wanted an apology to come out. And he was also going to let people know where money is hidden, especially for his wife and his child. It's interesting that employees were in on it because maybe they heard the rumors about where the money was and they wanted it to themselves. That's a good reason to kill somebody in prison. I can't think of any other reason. And I think the mother has left some clues, has given some clues. They still talk about it, and I think he's still looking for it. I think the son is still looking for it. It might just be a family myth by now, by this point, but it's definitely out there. It's definitely out there. Has not been found. All right. Well, there you go. See where a cold case can take you. Thank you so much for watching right till the end. I sure appreciate you. See you online. Bye for now.